What if the secret to becoming a great leader lies in your ability to negotiate effectively? In the grand theater of leadership, negotiation skills play a leading role. The ability to reach agreements, to find common ground, to strike a balance between competing interests, these are not just traits of a good negotiator, but of a great leader. And it's not just about possessing these skills, but about using them to build collaborative relationships that stand the test of time. Now let's delve a bit deeper into the concept of win-win agreements. It's not just a catchy buzzword, it's the heart of effective negotiation. It's about finding a solution that doesn't just satisfy your needs, but also those of the other party. It's about moving away from the notion of negotiation as a battle to be won and towards the idea of negotiation as a problem to be solved collaboratively. This is not to say that negotiation is all about compromise, far from it. In fact, the most successful negotiations often involve both parties getting more than what they initially expected. It's not about splitting the pie in half, but about making the pie bigger for everyone. And this is where the art of negotiation truly shines. It's about creating value where there seemed to be none, about turning a zero-sum game into a win-win situation. It's about using your skills and creativity to find solutions that benefit everyone involved. But perhaps the most important aspect of negotiation is its role in building and maintaining relationships. After all, it's not just about reaching an agreement, but about building a relationship based on mutual respect and understanding. It's about creating a foundation of trust that allows for future negotiations to be even more successful. And this is what sets great leaders apart. They don't just negotiate to win, they negotiate to build. They build agreements, they build relationships, they build bridges where there were previously only walls. So, next time you find yourself in a negotiation, remember this. It's not just about winning, it's about finding a solution that benefits everyone involved, because at the end of the day, a great leader doesn't just win negotiations, they create solutions that benefit everyone. Now, let's examine a real-life example of successful negotiation from history. Ever heard of the Cuban Missile Crisis? It was October of 1962, at the height of the Cold War, when an American spy plane discovered Soviet nuclear missiles being installed in Cuba, just 90 miles off the coast of Florida. The world held its breath as the two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, stood on the brink of nuclear war. President John F. Kennedy and his advisors were faced with a decision: to launch a preemptive strike or to negotiate. They chose the latter path, opening a back-channel line of communication with Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev. Here's where the art of negotiation comes into play. The U.S. offered to publicly promise not to invade Cuba if the Soviets would dismantle their missile bases on the island. In a secret deal, the U.S. also agreed to remove their own missiles from Turkey. The stakes were high, but both sides understood the importance of compromise. The Americans demonstrated a key negotiation tactic, making the first offer, which set the terms of the discussion. On the other side, the Soviets showed the value of patience, waiting to see if the Americans would sweeten the deal, which they did with the secret agreement on Turkey. Communication was key throughout this tense period. Both leaders used letters, indirect messages, and intermediaries to convey their positions, avoiding direct confrontation that could escalate tensions. They also understood the importance of saving face, allowing each other to claim victory to their respective nations while achieving a mutually beneficial outcome. In the end, the crisis was resolved not on the battlefield, but at the negotiation table. It's a powerful reminder of how effective negotiation can divert disaster, build relationships, and lead to win-win solutions. In the face of imminent disaster, it was effective negotiation that saved the day. Now that's the power of negotiation. Let's jump from the political arena to the business world. How did Microsoft manage to acquire LinkedIn? In the mid-2010s, a game-changing negotiation unfolded in the tech industry. Microsoft, a tech titan, sought to acquire LinkedIn, a rapidly growing social network for professionals. This wasn't just a simple purchase, it was a high-stakes negotiation that would shape the future of the tech industry. Microsoft's approach was strategic. They understood that negotiation isn't a battlefield, but a process of understanding and meeting the other party's needs. Microsoft knew that LinkedIn, despite its growth, was facing challenges. They needed a partner with deep pockets and a shared vision. Microsoft stepped up to the plate, presenting themselves as that partner. They were patient, allowing LinkedIn to see the value they could bring. They didn't rush the process or force a decision. Microsoft was also willing to compromise. They knew that to win LinkedIn over, they had to offer more than just money. They had to reassure LinkedIn that their culture, identity, and autonomy would be preserved. This was crucial. Many acquisitions fail because the acquired company's culture gets lost in the shuffle. Microsoft promised LinkedIn that this wouldn't happen, and they were true to their word. LinkedIn, on the other hand, was open to negotiation. They understood what they needed and were willing to listen to what Microsoft had to offer. They didn't just see the dollar signs, they saw a future where they could grow and thrive under Microsoft's umbrella. The result? A successful negotiation that led to an acquisition worth $26 billion. Microsoft didn't just buy LinkedIn, they built a partnership that allowed both companies to grow and succeed. LinkedIn retained its identity, and Microsoft gained a valuable asset. This negotiation wasn't about who could outsmart who, it was about understanding, patience, and compromise. It was about creating a win-win situation that benefited both parties. It was a masterclass in the art of negotiation. A successful negotiation resulted in one of the biggest tech acquisitions in history. That's the impact of skillful negotiation in the business world. So, how can you become a better negotiator? Here are some key principles to keep in mind. Firstly, understand the other party's needs. The essence of negotiation isn't just about getting what you want, but also ensuring the other party feels satisfied with the outcome. Dive deep into their perspective, ask questions, and listen attentively. You want to comprehend not just what they want, but why they want it. This understanding can provide valuable insights that can lead to creative solutions satisfying both parties. Secondly, patience is more than just a virtue in negotiation, it's a strategic tool. Negotiations can be complex and time-consuming. It's important not to rush the process. Take your time, allow the other party to express their views fully, and don't feel compelled to fill every silence. Often, patience can lead to more favorable outcomes. Next, be willing to compromise. A successful negotiation isn't about one party winning and the other losing. It's about finding a middle ground where both parties feel they've achieved something. You might need to give a little to get a little. This give-and-take dynamic is the heartbeat of any negotiation. Lastly, aim for a win-win agreement. This isn't just a feel-good mantra, it's a solid strategy. Win-win agreements are sustainable and foster long-term relationships. They ensure both parties walk away feeling victorious, thereby increasing the chances of future successful collaborations. Remember, today's opponent could be tomorrow's ally. Now, these principles are not a magic formula that will guarantee success in every negotiation. They are guidelines designed to shape your thinking and approach. The art of negotiation requires practice, experience, and a willingness to learn from every encounter. Master these principles, and you're well on your way to becoming a skilled negotiator. Leadership and negotiation go hand in hand, but why is this duo so crucial? Well, let's dive right in. When we think about leadership, we often imagine someone standing at the helm of a ship, guiding it through stormy seas. But what we sometimes fail to acknowledge is that a leader isn't just a navigator, they are also a negotiator, constantly engaged in the process of finding common ground, building bridges, and forging alliances. Let's consider decision-making, a key aspect of leadership. Leaders are frequently faced with tough decisions that can impact the whole team or even the entire organization. Here's where negotiation steps in. It's not just about making a decision, but about communicating it effectively. Not just dictating, but discussing. It's about finding a solution that everyone can agree on, a solution that is a win for all parties involved. Now let's move on to conflict resolution, another critical area where negotiation skills come into play. Conflicts are inevitable in any group or organization. They can be roadblocks, slowing down progress, or worse, derailing projects. Effective negotiation can help leaders navigate these conflicts, turning them from obstacles into opportunities for growth and learning. With negotiation, a leader can mediate differences and bring about a resolution that satisfies all parties, fostering a harmonious working environment. Finally, we come to the crux of the matter: building collaborative relationships. Leadership is not about ruling with an iron fist, it's about fostering collaboration, about creating an environment where everyone feels heard and valued. Negotiation is the tool that makes this possible. It's through negotiation that a leader can understand the needs and concerns of their team, can build trust, and can create a culture of collaboration and mutual respect. So remember, to be a great leader, you must also be a great negotiator. The art of negotiation can turn conflicts into opportunities and adversaries into allies.